Hello and good day everyone over there in London. This is Michael Teoh here and I am speaking to you from Malaysia. It is past midnight now, but my spirit to share with you my 2 cents worth of thought about redefining success, especially in this very important youth convention. Again, congratulations to the hard-working efforts and combined strength of both AIESEC and JCI London. Personally, I have been involved in AIESEC before and I'm proud to share that I'm currently helping JCI Petaling Jaya, which is one of the larger districts here in the capital city Kuala Lumpur for Malaysia. So definitely I would love to work with both of you again in the future. Now, I was asked a very interesting question. Being a mentee, how does a youth actually make the best of their experience of being a mentee? Now, I would say that as part of my day-to-day job, it has really become a passion for me to develop young people. I am a certified international trainer. I've done trainings across 22 countries, conducted workshops, speeches, consulted major companies, government agencies, NGOs on engaging young people. And one thing that I find is that young people tend to replicate the success stories, the inspirational journeys modeled after their mentors. Now, for most of these young people, they would look up to people like Sir Richard Branson. Perhaps some of you would look up to Bill Gates, the late Steve Jobs, and young people tend to model their steps. Though not everyone will enjoy this degree of success that these icons have enjoyed, but at least when they model their good traits, they will get to their destination and meet their goals. But I'm here to share with you the other side of the coin, not being a mentor, but being a mentee, which is a good reflection process for me as well. Now, I'm just here to share with you 3 simple points on what I believe it is important to be a good mentee as well. Point number 1, it's always my philosophy that when you're ready as a mentee, your mentor will appear. And I've learned this throughout my entrepreneurial journeys where I went on to start a project management business. We actually organized TED Talks in Malaysia. That's pretty exciting. But before that, we have used this opportunity, we, my partners and I, we've actually consulted many mentors from TED Global, all the way from the TEDx organizers of other countries. Now what happened was we were only prepared to seek for mentorship to organize that project, TED in this case, was because we were prepared to organize the project. And when we were ready to do the project, we went out on a crusade, I would say. We were actively looking for mentors. We were Googling up names, emailing people, making phone calls to learn from these people who have done it before. Amazing. This is why I believe when you're ready to undertake your dream, when you're on your career path, when you're starting your venture, when you are so determined that you want to start that venture to realize that dream, the mentor will appear, whether you like it or not. All right, because your mind is alert to what's capturing information and knowledge that you will then use to realize that dream. All right, so that's point number 1. Point number 2, being a mentee, it's always good to be transparent. Now, I'm not sure about the UK culture. I lived in the UK, Liverpool, London, Manchester in 2011 for the past 2 to 3 months. But what happened was I noticed in the Asian culture though, is that we as mentees, we tend to be very reserved. We tend to not ask, what is it in it for the mentor when they mentor us? But this is what I've learned. I've had a few mentors throughout my life, all right? And some of the mentors really play a huge role in my development. I would have a mentor that would call me up to ask me if I've closed a deal for a client. I would have a mentor that would call me up and say, have I paid attention to a legal proceeding? Now what happened was they were very transparent with me. One of them actually said, I'm mentoring you right now because 10 to 20 years time, you've got a lot of potential. I want you to mentor my son. This is a true story. You know, he serves as a chief consultant in one of the world's largest consulting companies, and this was what he told me. And we agreed on it. And I believe the best relationship that a mentor and a mentee can have is a relationship that's transparent. The mentee would need to communicate to the mentor. Why are you learning? What do you want to learn from them? Do not expect them to be psychic, all right? And then the mentor, in return, in order to motivate the mentors, to even help the mentees in the first place, they would need to share with the mentee, why are they helping them? What is it in it for them? I know it's quite hard, especially among Asians, attending this conference or in an Asian setting, to ask something. But it's best that you do. Clear the lines first, all right? Now, my last advice would be, sometimes being a mentee, you tend to always want a mentor to hold your hand. You know, nothing beats the feeling of being mentored every day by Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, right? But what happened is I've learned another way of mentoring as a mentee. Now what happened is I would usually subscribe to inspirational people, Tony Robbins, Richard Branson. And when I subscribe to their feeds on Facebook, I make sure that whenever they post something inspirational, I absorb it and I reflect on it. I ask myself, what are the lessons that I can learn from that posting? It's amazing. And every time when I pick up a novel or an autobiography about an accomplished person, I would say, a successful person, every time when they tell their story as a mentee, even though they're not in front of my eyes, I would then reflect. What can I learn from their journeys? What lessons are they trying to teach me? How can I implement it for myself? Very powerful. 3 advice here for all of the young people attending this summit. Again, this is Michael Teoh here. I would really love to connect with all of you. So do check me out at my website, www.michaelteoh.com. I would love to hear from all of you. And if there's anything that I can do for you, please do keep in touch. I'm also on Facebook, or hook up with me on Twitter as well. Cheers guys, and I hope you have a wonderful summit. Use this time to meet not only the speakers and the sponsors, but also the organizers. They've done an amazing job. They've worked really hard to bring this conference to life. The least you can do is go in front of them and say, thank you very much. Again, a mini lesson right here. Being a mentor and a mentee, the feeling of gratitude and the willingness to say thank you goes a long way in opening up the arms and the hearts of people to help you more. Believe me, it's not pseudoscience. It works. Cheers everyone. Selamat tinggal. That means goodbye in Malaysia, and I hope to connect with all of you again. Cheers guys.